Counselor Varnock, a tall reptilian figure with shimmering scales, slammed his hand on the table. "We cannot ignore the increasing reports from our scouts. The humans are up to something." Another council member, a slender being named Valara, nodded in agreement. "We've observed unusual movements from Earth. It seems they are no longer the simple creatures we once thought them to be. We must investigate further." As the discussions continued, a low-ranking officer who had been monitoring the communications stepped forward. He was nervous, but determined to share what he had discovered. "Excuse me, esteemed members of the council," he said, his voice shaking slightly. "I have gathered information that might change our understanding of humanity." The room fell silent, and all eyes turned toward the officer. "What is it?" Counselor Varnock asked, his tone sharp. The officer took a deep breath and continued. "We have confirmed the existence of a hidden fleet of faster-than-light, FTL, ships built by humans. They have been developing this technology in secret, away from our surveillance." A wave of shock rippled through the chamber. The council members exchanged anxious glances, realizing the potential threat this fleet posed. The reports they had dismissed as mere rumors were now substantiated. The humans, once underestimated, had been preparing for a confrontation. "Are you certain of this information?" Counselor Liren, a stout being with 4 arms, demanded. "If the humans possess an FTL fleet, it could change the balance of power in the galaxy." "Yes, Counselor," the officer replied, standing taller as he spoke. "We have intercepted communications and gathered evidence from satellite observations. They are readying their ships for deployment." The atmosphere in the chamber shifted from disbelief to panic. The Council had prided itself on its control over the galaxy, but the thought of a hidden human fleet challenged everything they believed. "We must act quickly," Counselor Valara urged. "If we let them gain strength, they could become a formidable enemy." A heated debate erupted among the council members. Some called for immediate action, while others argued for caution and diplomacy. Varnock, sensing the rising tensions, raised his hand for silence. "We must gather more intelligence. We cannot act recklessly. We need to know the full extent of their capabilities before deciding how to respond." As the discussions continued, a faction within the council began to plot. They believed that the only way to control the situation was to intimidate humanity into submission. "Let us send a delegation to Earth," suggested a council member named Zalera. "We can assert our authority and demonstrate our might. If we show them we are not afraid, they may reconsider their actions." The proposal sparked further arguments. Some councilors supported the idea, believing that a show of force would be effective, while others feared provoking the humans. The debate raged on, with accusations and fear permeating the air. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Lena, the leader of the human coalition, was unaware of the turmoil brewing within the Galactic Council. She had sensed that the Council had been watching, but she never imagined they would uncover her secret fleet. Lena had worked tirelessly to develop the FTL technology, knowing it would be crucial in the event of a confrontation. As the council members continued to argue, the officer who had revealed the information stood quietly, knowing he had sparked a significant shift in the galaxy. The council was no longer looking at humanity as a mere nuisance. They now saw them as a serious threat. With the potential of war looming, the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. The council had made its decision. They would confront humanity, and in doing so, they would awaken a force they had long underestimated. The discovery of the fleet had set in motion events that would change everything. Back on Earth, the atmosphere was electric with anticipation. In a high-tech command center, Lena stood before a massive screen displaying data from the Galactic Council's activities. She was the leader of a coalition of scientists, engineers, and military strategists who had been working in secrecy. The news of the Council discovering their hidden fleet had reached her, and she knew they had to respond quickly. Lena was a fierce and determined woman, known for her quick thinking and strong leadership. With her short black hair and sharp green eyes, she commanded attention. "We have to reveal our fleet now," she declared to her assembled team. "We cannot let the Council think we are weak or afraid. They need to know we are ready to fight back." Her team, consisting of top scientists and military leaders, nodded in agreement. They had been preparing for this moment, developing their fleet of faster-than-light FTL ships in secret. The coalition had built a diverse range of vessels, from sleek exploration ships to heavily armed warships, all designed to outmaneuver any enemy. "Let's organize a grand reveal," suggested Marcus, her chief strategist. We need to show the world our strength and unity. This will boost morale and send a clear message to the Galactic Council. Lena agreed. They began planning an event that would showcase their fleet, drawing on the support of the public and allies from around the globe. The plan was to gather people at a vast spaceport where the FTL ships were stationed, and they would broadcast the event live to every corner of the planet. As preparations unfolded, excitement grew among the people of Earth. News outlets reported on the upcoming reveal, and social media buzzed with anticipation. Citizens from all walks of life gathered to support their leaders. Many shared stories of their families who had suffered under the Council's neglect and violence. The pain of the past fueled a desire for revenge and justice. On the day of the reveal, the spaceport was filled with spectators. Families, scientists, and military personnel stood shoulder to shoulder, their faces lit with hope and determination. Lena stepped onto the stage, her voice resonating through the crowd. Today, we stand united as one people. The Galactic Council thought they could silence us, but we have risen from the ashes. We will not back down! As she spoke, the crowd erupted in cheers. The massive hangar doors opened, revealing the fleet of FTL ships gleaming under the sun. Each ship had its unique design, showcasing the ingenuity of human engineering. Some were equipped with powerful weapons, while others had sleek aerodynamic shapes that promised speed and agility. Lena pointed to the ships, her excitement contagious. These vessels are more than just machines. They represent our will to fight for our future. We have spent years developing this technology in secret. Now the Galactic Council will see what we are capable of. The crowd roared with applause as the ships began to take off one by one. They soared into the sky, leaving trails of colorful vapor behind them. Cameras captured the moment, broadcasting it to millions of viewers around the world. People cheered, waved flags, and held signs that read, "We are ready," and "Fight for Earth." Meanwhile, in the command center, Lena and her team monitored the reactions from space. As their fleet ascended, they received data showing the Council's shock. "They didn't expect us to have this kind of power," Marcus said with a smile. "We have them on the back foot now." But Lena knew they could not afford to be complacent. The Galactic Council would surely retaliate. "We need to stay vigilant," she warned. "This is just the beginning. We must prepare for their next move." In the days that followed, the human coalition worked tirelessly. Engineers made last-minute adjustments to the fleet, while strategists analyzed potential council tactics. Lena held meetings with military leaders, discussing defense strategies and possible offensive actions. As tensions rose, Lena felt a mix of excitement and fear. Humanity had proven it could rise to the challenge, but the looming threat of the Galactic Council remained. The reveal of their fleet had ignited a fire within the hearts of the people, but it also marked the beginning of a conflict that could change the galaxy forever. With determination and unity, humanity was ready to face whatever came next. They were no longer the underestimated species the Council thought they were. They were a force to be reckoned with, prepared to fight for their home and their future. As dawn broke on Earth, excitement filled the air. Today was the day of the first official encounter between humans and the Galactic Council. The atmosphere at the launch site was electric. Crowds gathered to witness history, and the world held its breath, eager to see what would unfold. Lena stood at the forefront of the bustling scene, dressed in her uniform, a symbol of unity and hope. She looked out at the ships lined up for departure, their sleek designs reflecting the rising sun. Today is crucial, she thought. We must make a strong impression. The chosen location for the meeting was a neutral space station orbiting a distant planet. This station had been carefully constructed by the Galactic Council as a symbol of cooperation. Lena's heart raced as she boarded the shuttle with her team. She knew this meeting would define the future of human and alien relations. As they traveled through space, Lena gazed out the window at the stars. Each twinkling light seemed to hold the promise of adventure and the unknown. "We are not just representing ourselves, we are representing all of humanity," she reminded her team. They nodded, determination shining in their eyes. When they arrived at the space station, Lena felt a mix of nerves and excitement. The station was vast and bustling with alien beings from various races, each unique in appearance and culture. Some had colorful skin, others had intricate markings, and a few were entirely unrecognizable. Lena's heart raced at the sight of them. She was about to meet the leaders of the Galactic Council. As they entered the main hall, the atmosphere shifted. Delegates from different species were already gathered, whispering among themselves. Lena took a deep breath, straightened her posture, and stepped forward. She was greeted by Elder Track, a tall figure with silver skin and bright blue eyes that seemed to hold centuries of wisdom. "Welcome, Lena. We are honored to meet you," Track said, his voice calm and authoritative. "Thank you, Elder Track. It's a privilege to be here," Lena replied, her voice steady despite the flutter of nerves inside her. The hall was filled with various representatives, each one watching closely as Lena introduced her team. She presented her crew with pride, sharing their achievements and expertise. The aliens listened intently, nodding and exchanging glances. After the introductions, the meeting began. Varnock, a formidable warrior with deep green skin and fierce golden eyes, stood up to speak. "We have gathered here today to discuss our future. Humans have shown great potential, but we must understand each other better to build trust." Lena nodded, eager to engage. "We are ready to learn about your cultures, your technologies, and your way of life. We seek a partnership based on mutual respect." As the discussions continued, Lena felt the tension in the room begin to ease. Questions were asked, stories were shared, and laughter broke out occasionally. But there were still moments of silence where the weight of the unknown hung heavily. Suddenly, an unexpected event unfolded. A loud alarm blared throughout the station, cutting through the atmosphere of camaraderie. Red lights flashed, and chaos erupted as delegates scrambled for safety. Lena's heart sank. "What is happening?" she shouted to Track, trying to make herself heard above the noise. "It appears there is a security breach," Track replied, urgency in his voice. "We must find shelter immediately." With adrenaline coursing through her veins, Lena and her team followed Track and the other delegates to a secure area within the station. They squeezed into a small room, the door locking behind them. Lena could hear the panicked voices of the delegates outside, echoing in her mind. As they waited, Lena looked around at her team and the alien representatives. "We have to stay calm," she said, trying to reassure everyone. "We can't let fear take over." Minutes felt like hours, but finally the alarm stopped and the room grew silent. Track cautiously opened the door, revealing a scene of confusion outside. Security personnel were assessing the situation, ensuring the station was safe. Lena's heart raced as she stepped out into the hall. "What happened?" she demanded. A young alien guard reported. "There was a misunderstanding. A malfunction in our systems triggered the alarms." No one was in danger. Relief washed over the room. The encounter had been thrown into chaos, but Lena saw this moment as a test. They had faced adversity together, and though shaken, they emerged united. As they regrouped, Track looked at Lena with newfound respect. "Your calmness under pressure speaks volumes. We may have much to learn from each other." Lena smiled, knowing that despite the turmoil, they had taken an important step toward understanding. The first encounter had not gone as planned, but they had faced the unexpected together. This experience would serve as a foundation for their future collaborations. As the meeting resumed, Lena felt a flicker of hope. This was only the beginning, but they were already forging bonds that could change the course of history. The Galactic Council sat in a state of turmoil. In their grand chamber, the air was thick with tension. The news of humanity's fleet reveal had shocked the members to their core. They had underestimated the humans, thinking they were merely a minor species. Now, they faced a new reality. Earth had a powerful fleet capable of faster-than-light travel, and they were prepared to fight. Counselor Varnock paced back and forth, his scales shimmering under the bright lights. "This is a disaster! We have ignored the warnings and dismissed the humans as insignificant. Now they are armed and ready for war," he growled, his voice echoing in the chamber. Counselor Valara, who had always been cautious, nodded in agreement. "We need to reassess our strategy. We cannot just charge into a confrontation without understanding their capabilities. We don't know how many ships they truly possess or the extent of their technology." Another council member, Zalara, leaned forward. "We cannot show weakness. If we hesitate now, it will only embolden the humans. We must act decisively to crush this rebellion before it grows. A show of force is needed to remind them of their place." Varnock shook his head, frustration evident on his face. A show of force could lead to open war. "We need to consider a different approach. Perhaps we could negotiate, find a way to avoid bloodshed." "Negotiate?" Zalara scoffed. "The humans have shown their strength. They will not listen to us now. They will see negotiation as a sign of weakness, and they will not hesitate to attack if given the chance. As the council debated, a holographic image of Earth appeared in the center of the chamber. It pulsed with light, reminding everyone of the human home planet's significance. "Look at what we are risking," Valara said, pointing at the image. "If we push them too far, we could lose everything we have built. The humans may have a fierce spirit, but they are also resourceful. They could rally allies and grow stronger than we anticipate." A heated discussion erupted among the members. Some insisted on immediate military action, while others urged caution and diplomacy. The tension was palpable, and many counselors exchanged worried glances. They were at a crossroads, and the decisions they made would shape the future of the galaxy. Suddenly a voice broke through the chaos. It was Elder Track, a wise and experienced member of the council, known for his calm demeanor. "We need to remember the lessons of our past. Every time we have rushed into conflict without understanding our enemy, we have faced devastating consequences. The humans are not like us, but that does not make them our enemy. They have shown resilience and courage." The council quieted, considering Elder Track's words. "Perhaps we should seek an audience with their leaders," he continued. "If we can open a dialogue, we might find common ground. We can offer them a chance for peace, a chance to coexist rather than clash." Varnock nodded slowly. "It is a risk, but one worth taking. We cannot afford to underestimate their potential again. We should send a delegation to Earth, but we must go prepared. If we appear weak, it will be the end of us." Zalara remained skeptical, but saw the wisdom in Track's advice. "If we do this, we must ensure our fleet is ready for immediate action. We cannot be caught off guard. The moment we show any sign of weakness, they will take advantage." The council reached a fragile agreement. They would send a delegation to Earth to open negotiations, but would also prepare their fleet for possible combat. As they finalized their plans, unease filled the chamber. They had chosen a path of uncertainty, and the stakes had never been higher. Meanwhile, on Earth, Lena and her team had been monitoring the council's movements closely. They had intercepted communications indicating the council was considering a diplomatic approach. While Lena welcomed the idea of negotiations, she remained cautious. "They may want to talk, but we must not let our guard down," she warned her team. "The council is still a powerful force, and we cannot underestimate their willingness to fight." As both sides prepared for what was to come, the galaxy held its breath. The next moves of the Galactic Council and humanity would determine the fate of millions. Would there be a chance for peace, or would this conflict spiral into a full-scale war? The future hung in the balance, and every decision counted. The moment had come. Tension filled the space above Earth as the Galactic Council's fleet and humanity's hidden ships faced each other in the vastness of space. Lena stood in the command center, her heart racing as she observed the massive displays showing the approaching alien ships. The Council had finally made their move, and now was the time for humanity to stand strong. "Prepare all ships for combat readiness," Lena shouted, her voice echoing through the command center. The team moved quickly, executing their well-practiced plans. Engineers double-checked weapon systems, pilots suited up, and communications officers established links with all ships in the fleet. Outside, the night sky was lit up by the glowing lights of the human fleet, ready to defend their home. Each ship was a testament to human ingenuity, sleek and powerful, armed with advanced weapons and technology that would give them a fighting chance against the formidable council. Lena turned to her second-in-command, Marcus. "We need to maintain formation. We cannot let them break our lines. Stay close and support each other?" "Understood," Marcus replied, his eyes filled with determination. "We've trained for this moment. We'll show them what humanity is made of!" As the council's fleet approached, Lena received a transmission from Elder Track. "We wish to speak with you, Lena. We do not seek unnecessary bloodshed. Let us find a peaceful resolution." Lena hesitated. She had always believed in the power of diplomacy, but the council's history of aggression lingered in her mind. "If you want to talk, you need to show us good faith." "We are ready for battle, but we will listen," she replied firmly. "We are prepared to offer terms," Track responded, his voice calm. "But we must meet face to face." After a moment of contemplation, Lena agreed to a temporary ceasefire. She would meet with Track, but she wouldn't let her guard down. "Marcus, you'll be in command while I'm away. Keep the fleet ready for anything." With that, Lena boarded a shuttle and flew towards the council's flagship. As she approached, she could see the massive structure glinting in the starlight, a symbol of the Council's power. The shuttle docked, and Lena took a deep breath before stepping into the alien ship. Inside, she was led to a large chamber where the Council members awaited. Varnock, Zalara, and Track stood at the forefront, their expressions serious. Lena felt the weight of their gazes but held her ground, determined to represent her people. "Welcome, Lena," Elder Track began. "We understand the fear and anger that your people feel. We wish to find a way to coexist." Lena crossed her arms, skepticism in her eyes. "Your actions have shown us that you do not value our lives. How can we trust you?" Varnock spoke up, frustration evident in his tone. "We were blind to the potential of humanity. We were wrong. But you must understand, we do not want a war. It will lead to the destruction of both our peoples." Lena listened, considering their words carefully. "If you truly want peace, you must prove it. You need to withdraw your forces and acknowledge our right to exist without your interference." Zalara leaned forward, her expression softening. "We are willing to negotiate, but we need to ensure our safety as well. We propose a treaty that guarantees peace between our races." The conversation shifted as both sides began to discuss terms. Lena felt a mix of hope and caution. She knew that a treaty could bring a new era of understanding, but the scars of past conflicts would not disappear easily. After hours of negotiations, they finally reached an agreement. The Galactic Council would withdraw their forces, and both sides would work towards mutual respect and cooperation. It was a fragile peace, but it was a start. As Lena returned to her fleet, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. The ships of the Council began to turn away, their engines flaring to life as they retreated. Humanity had faced down a powerful adversary and had chosen peace instead of war. "Lena, you did it!" Marcus cheered as she entered the command center. The crew erupted in applause, the tension lifting as they realized that they had avoided a devastating conflict. "Let's not celebrate too soon," Lena cautioned, though a smile crept onto her face. "This is just the beginning. We have a long way to go, but today we took a step toward a better future." As the stars twinkled above, the fleet began to regroup. The humans had proven their strength, not just in combat, but in their ability to choose peace when it mattered most. Together, they had faced a great challenge and emerged victorious, ready to forge a new path among the stars. In the end, Lena knew that this moment would be remembered as a turning point in history, a time when humanity stood united, defied the odds, and chose to rise above the darkness. The galaxy had witnessed their resolve, and now it was time to build a brighter future for all. In the weeks following the historic meeting between Lena and the Galactic Council, the atmosphere around Earth began to change. News of the treaty spread quickly across the galaxy, bringing both relief and skepticism. Humanity had successfully avoided a catastrophic war, but trust between the two species remained fragile. Back on Earth, Lena was busy overseeing the implementation of the treaty. She had become a symbol of hope and resilience for her people. In her office, she reviewed the new protocols for intergalactic relations, ensuring that both humans and aliens would have a voice in future discussions. "Lena, we have a transmission from the Council," Marcus announced as he entered the room. He held a tablet, his expression a mix of excitement and concern. "They want to discuss joint military exercises to build trust." Lena raised an eyebrow. "Joint military exercises? That sounds risky. We need to be cautious. What if they try to take advantage of us?" "True, but this could also show them that we are open to collaboration," Marcus replied. "It's a step towards building a stronger relationship." After a moment of thought, Lena nodded. "Set up the meeting. If they are serious about peace, we must be willing to engage with them. But let's ensure our fleet is on alert during these exercises. We can't let our guard down." Meanwhile, the Galactic Council was busy trying to regain the trust of their citizens. Many council members had faced backlash for their earlier decisions, leading to widespread protests against their approach to humanity. Elder Track worked tirelessly to convince his colleagues that peace was the best path forward. In a council meeting, Track spoke passionately. "We must show our people that we can coexist with humanity. Our future depends on it. These exercises are not just about military strength, they are about unity and understanding." Varnock nodded, his demeanor more serious than before. "If we can prove that we can work together, we may quell the fears of our people. We must also be transparent about our actions. They need to see that we are not the aggressors." As the day of the joint exercises approached, both sides prepared. Lena and her team had worked hard to develop strategies that would highlight cooperation rather than competition. Ships from both Earth and the Council would participate, conducting training scenarios that emphasized communication and teamwork. The day of the exercises arrived and excitement filled the air. Lena stood on the bridge of her flagship, watching as Council ships joined her fleet in formation. The sight of their advanced technology beside humanity's vessels was awe-inspiring. "Let's make a good impression," Lena said, turning to her crew. "Remember, we are setting the stage for the future. We want them to see that we can work together." As the exercises began, both fleets navigated the simulated scenarios with skill. They practiced joint maneuvers, shared strategies, and communicated openly. At first, there were awkward moments as both sides adjusted to each other's styles. But soon, a rhythm developed and confidence grew. After hours of drills, Lena gathered her crew and the Council representatives for a debriefing. "Today was a success. We learned a lot about each other's strengths and weaknesses. But more importantly, we showed that we can cooperate," she announced, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Track smiled, relief evident on his face. "This is just the beginning. We have taken a significant step toward a brighter future. Together, we can achieve great things." As the meeting wrapped up, Varnock stood and addressed the group. "Let us commit to regular joint exercises and discussions. We must keep this momentum going and continue to build our relationship." Back on Earth, the news of the successful exercises brought joy and hope to the people. Lena's leadership had not only averted war, but had also opened the door to a new alliance. In the streets, celebrations erupted as citizens gathered to share their excitement. However, Lena knew that the journey ahead would not be easy. Trust would take time, and old fears could resurface. But for now, they had laid the groundwork for a new era. In her quiet moments, Lena reflected on the challenges they had faced. "We've come so far, but we must stay vigilant," she thought. Peace is a continuous effort. As the sun set on Earth, painting the sky with brilliant colors, Lena felt a sense of hope. Together, humanity and the Galactic Council had taken a brave step towards a shared future. And though the road ahead was uncertain, they would face it together, united in their resolve to protect what they had built. This was the beginning of a new chapter, where both species could learn from each other and thrive among the stars.